How to assemble ER collets into different types of nuts. There are several different types of nuts available in the market. The one good thing is the ER collet is a DIN standard. The older style of nuts, as called out by the DIN standard, is an eccentric ring. They did not retain the collet when placed into it. There are also nuts out on the market that don't have a manufactured-in eccentric ring. It actually uses an E-clip. They do, however, when the collet is snapped in, retain the collet. Be on the lookout for these. The REGO-FIX standard is the high Q ER nut. These are designed to retain the collet once the collet is snapped in, as well as giving you the best balance options possible. They are available in friction bearing style. Again, even the friction bearing style locks the collet in, but be aware, when using a bearing nut, there is a slight length difference. Also available in a bearing coolant version. Again, the collet will snap in, be retained, and it again has a different length. Be aware of this in case you have a length issue. All of these nuts are designed to work with the same basic spanner wrench. The spanner wrench goes over the top, locks into 4 of the grooves, and allows you to tighten the nut properly. The wrench should fit nice and tight, should not have a whole lot of play. If you do have one that has too much play in it, it may be worn and may need to be changed. As with the larger ER series, the ER16 nut has a large variety of nuts available to it as well. Each of the nuts has a small dimple indicating how to assemble the collet properly. Simply lay the collet over top of the dimple, snap it in. And this is the same for the other types of nuts available. The one exception to this is the high-speed mini nut. The high-speed mini nut does not have any extraction groove manufactured into it. We will show this again later in the video. The standard eccentric ring nut. This nut has been the industry standard for years. On the inside of this nut there is an eccentric ring offset to one side. The new high Q nut standard. Designed by REGO-FIX, the new high Q ER nut is a spanner style for ER 25 through ER 50 and a hex style for ER 8 through ER 20. Each style has a small reference dimple located on the outer rim of the tool holder to assist with manufacturing. The high Q ERB and ERBC bearing nuts are also available. The dimple is located inside the bearing, as shown here. Other standard ER nuts, mini, external, and high-speed styles. The mini nut, also known as the castle nut, is also equipped with a small reference dimple located on the outer rim for placement. The wrench goes over the top of the nut for tightening. The AX externally threaded nut has the small reference dimple on the outer rim as well, and uses a special interlocking wrench. The high-speed mini nut does not have a small reference dimple and does not have any eccentric groove to keep the collet within the nut. The collet and the eccentric groove is all held in place by the wrench. Cheaper nuts may look like the high Q nut, but beware, they may use a cheap E-clip inside to retain the collet.